Hi, I'm Joe for Studio Kaiju, and I'm here talking with a man who's been in the television and movie industry for a great number of years. He is the definitive epitome of action, Mr. David Hedison.
Hi there.
You started working in, I believe your first film was The Enemy Below?
With Robert Mitchum and Kurt Jurgens, yeah. That was my first film in 1957.
And obviously, I'm sure somewhere along the line someone picked up on the idea of the submarine aspect.
Yeah, it could be, it could be.
But you didn't see that coming, that affecting your career like that?
I didn't see that at all, no.
So how was it working on that film?
Oh, it's wonderful because I got to know Mitchum, and he's such a great guy. Everyone loves him in the business, or loved him. So that was a great experience, and being my first film, I met some interesting people, and it was very good experience for me.
Probably very good exposure, too.
Right, it was.
You are very well known for having done the movie The Fly.
Right. Well, that was my next film, right after The Enemy Below. And I did that in 1958. And originally, another actor was supposed to play it, Rick Jason. He did a TV show called Combat, and he didn't want to do it because he didn't like the fact that a third of the film he wasn't in. And the second third of the film, it was the cloth on his head. And he didn't want to do it. He turned it down. So I was next, and I read it, and I said, oh, this is a wonderful film. It's very believable. I bought it, and I said, absolutely, I'd be proud to do it. And it had a good director and a lovely cast, as you know, Vincent Price, Herbert Marshall, Patricia Owens. They're all up in heaven now, and they're waiting for me. And there we are.
Now, I understand that you were the Fly. You were the actor as the Fly all the way through, correct?
All the way through, there was no one else. People asked me if I was the guy under the mask, and I said, absolutely. And I said, I did everything. There was no stuntman on the picture. It was all me throughout.
Okay. What about the... I've always wanted to know about this, and I never actually read about it. As the Fly in the spider web, what was that? Was that basically... how was that done?
Actually, well, they had me. Vincent and Herbert weren't there. But they had me in this web, and they put spider webs and all over me and whatever. With my screaming, help me. And when I did it, the director said to me, now just imagine, right here, there's a spider coming towards you. So I screamed, really heartfelt scream, because it meant so much to me, and it was terrifyingly real. And according to the crew, because when the scene was over, they applauded. It was so real and so horrifying, as I said. But then they decided to do something else, and they brought the sound up. They screeched it up. So it became not my voice saying, help me, but it became higher and higher and higher. It became, help me, like that. Well, I thought it would have been much more effective if you'd seen the tiny fly with my voice screaming, help me. But they went another way.
Directors.
It doesn't matter. It made money. That's the important thing.
Yeah, it was the most profitable film that year.
That year, that and Return to Peyton Place. No. Peyton Place. And The Fly were the two winners at Fox that year.
Now, you worked in that film. You worked with Vincent Price, as you said.
Yes.
And then you got to work with him again a few years later on Voyage To The Bottom of the Sea.
Yes, and I got to really get to know him then. And we kidded around a lot. We had a great time. And he said to me, David, he said, dear boy, I remember you as being so much more serious and earnest. And I said, well, Vincent, I was. It was my important picture to me, and I wanted to make sure there was no humor on the set. I was in the thing most of the time. And I took it very seriously. Now with the Voyage, it's so grim anyway. So we had to have fun on the set. And we joked around, and he and I had a great time, and we hit it off. And he invited Richard and me to his house for dinner. He was married to Mary at the time.
Richard Basehart, by the way.
Yeah, Richard Basehart. And it was great. They were great cooks, Mary and Vincent. and it was absolutely wonderful.
Now, on Voyage, you also got to work with a number of really talented people, Del Monroe, Chip Dowdle.
Oh, yes, all those people.
Very.
Del, unfortunately, just passed away.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it was really bad. And, well, there's not many of us left, I guess.
No, actually, there don't believe there are, but...
I think in The Fly, the only ones left is Charlie, my son, and myself.
No.
That's it.
Well, that's the problem with having lived so long.
I guess.
But what I was going to get at now, been curious about this. I have some of the DVD sets from Voyage.
Yes.
And you did some interviews for those, and you were talking about a frustration of working with Irwin Allen about being limited as an actor.
Well, it was not.
I'm not dishing dirt. I'm just.
No. He was very much into photo effects and get to the chase and no time for characterization or talking about this one or that. It was just, he wanted action. He wanted grim. And once Richard and I, Baysart, shot a scene, and it was made it a little humorous, a little lighter, and it was excellent. He made us reshoot it because it was too light. He said, no. So that's why. But anyway, it was. He knew what he was doing. It was 4 years, 110 hours, very successful. So,
was there a point where you felt that it kind of went too far?
Oh, of course.
Okay, all right.
The third year, the fourth year, the lobster man, the fossil man, of this man, of that man, it was ridiculous. It turned into a really kiddie show, But the first couple of years, it was really, I think, fairly sophisticated.
Oh yeah, the first season is just
It
great.
was excellent. Yeah, it was.
Now, I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if anyone's mentioned this to you before. Have you noticed that in the fourth season, and I know you don't necessarily remember them quite like that, but in the fourth season, I can't find a single female character.
Oh, no, he saved money because of the budget with the girls in the makeup. They usually take an hour and a half, 2 hours in makeup. The hair has to be just right. And they take a lot of time in makeup and hair, where I went into the makeup room, zip, zap, and out. It's 10 minutes of a little base, and that was it.
See, and that's interesting. I thought you would say, gee, I never noticed that.
No, I noticed that, of course. I was always saying, why don't we have more girls? Come on, more girls. Anyway. You actually did return to television for a little bit recently with Young and the Restless. Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, there was a little bit of a break from the last time you'd acted in that. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. There was a bit of a break. I had done an independent film in Poland, and then I had done a soap also in '91 for 5 years called Another World, and that was in New York. And during that time, all I was doing was Another World. So then when that was over, there was a bit of a break, and then I think shortly after that came Young and the Restless.
Young and the Restless, well, any soap opera is you have to learn your lines quick, get in and then shoot it, and a week later or so it airs.
Very difficult. It's a lot easier for actors who had been in the theater and were used to long takes. Like, you do a whole one-act play or something and you know the lines. So for me, being a fairly quick study, I would learn the lines and spend weekends learning the lines. So that was a big help to me, but it's a lot of hard work.
Imagine so.
It's a lot of hard work.
So what drew you back to it just a few years ago?
What drew me back to it was they gave me a wonderful contract and a lot of money. And I says, well, why not? And I love the actors in that show. I said I would love to work with them. That was perfect. Yeah.
Well,
nobody was offering me anything else.
I find that difficult to believe. Speaking of that, you were little going back in time a little bit. You were also offered the lead of Mike Brady in the Brady Bunch.
I was, and I don't know why I turned it down. It may have been I had just gotten married, and my wife was pregnant with the first child. And I don't know why it was a very stupid move on my part, I admit it. I should have said I'd be glad to do it and taken it, because it lasted a long time and became very, very popular at the time. So it's a mistake I made. A lot of dumb things I did, a lot of things I turned down that I should not have. But every actor can tell you a story like that.
Sure. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you.
Well, nice talking to you.
Taking the time.
Not at all.
And
take care of yourself.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.